Oh my god, the host just triple stabbed me.
Do you see who's food running tonight?
56 was just sitting there making out the entire time I was trying to take
Why do we have
order.
so many servers on the floor? Did you hear about 73?
This is a work of fiction. Any similarity to actual persons, living or dead, or actual events, is purely coincidental.
All right, guys, welcome back to Rolling Silverware. I'm Bunny,
I'm Kat.
and this is our post-shift shit talk.
Post-shift shit talk. We're not going to talk about the first take.
The first time.
Where I stumbled through those words.
You had it so close.
You put a tongue twister at the beginning of every...
It
it's
sounds
your fault.
so good, though.
It does, but we always drink before we do these, and then you put a tongue twister at the start.
I'm sorry. It just sounds so good.
Okay, well...
It flows sober.
Yes, but then you can't talk shit when I sound...
No,
when I stutter through it.
And I wasn't going to bring it up,
drinking.
and then you brought it up, so...
You brought it up.
Mrs. Well, you played the commercial for me.
Look,
Thank
sorry. I'm going to call you out 100% of the time, but I'll always back you up as well.
When we have viewers, we're going to reach out to you guys and see how you feel about a certain topic.
One day.
One of these days. All right, so a little bit of pre-shift tonight. Sales were high.
Yeah.
Not really anything of note on my end. I
Yeah.
had a comfortable shift. I wasn't slammed at any point. Kind of just like a decent Saturday night, but a little slow.
Yeah, that's what, it didn't feel like super busy at any point, but then my sales being 1,500 was kind of like bonkers to me. The amount of receipts that I turned in at the end of the night, I was like, I didn't feel like I took that many tables.
I didn't think I had that many tables.
Right. And then, no, it was a pretty chill night. I had one table that just felt so apprehensive and apologetic to be in my presence and in my section. We're
so sorry we exist and make you doing your job.
They just kept apologizing. I'm so sorry. So she ordered the like spicy Manhattan chowder, right? And it comes out, and you and I are talking at the POS station, and I see her look at it and go, like her face was so visible, like that's not what she expected to be put in front of her.
Right.
And so when I walk over, I was like, that's not what you were expecting, was it? And she goes, no, it really wasn't. I'm so sorry. And I'm like, it's fine. I'll get you want a clam chowder? I'll get you one of those. And she goes, yeah, if you don't mind. And I was like, no, I don't mind. Everything's fine. Like, I can get you that. Yeah. It's really quick. So I bring that out. And then there was a couple other things. They were like, oh, my God, thank you so much. Like, we're so sorry. They asked for extra sauces for their pastas. They were like,
we're so sorry.
Yeah, they were like, I'm so sorry, but can we get some extra sauce? And I was like, yeah, of course.
Yeah,
like,
absolutely. I want you to like your food at the end of the day.
I was like, yeah, it's fine. So they go, I get them some extra sauces, and I bring it down at the table, and the guy goes, we're really grateful for you. Like, one of the guys at the table, and I was just like,
thank you.
I've never felt more complimented in my life. Like, you appreciate me so much right now, and this is bonkers to me. Like,
I'm doing the bare minimum of what's required of me.
It felt
I'm grateful
so weird
for you.
That's what I
would have said.
I was like, all right. And it was this, like, a group of 5, just, like, very alt people.
Yeah,
right?
They looked awesome.
Yeah.
I wanted to sit down and have
they were
dinner with them.
Really chill, really cool looking people, loads of tattoos, loads of piercings, like, the very just alternative type looking people. And so I was like, my people, you know what I mean?
Right.
Like, I was all about it. But then at the very end, the joke landed, so I don't think this is why, but one of them looks at me and he goes, how difficult would it be to separate all of the checks? And I literally was just like, more things. Like,
you're asking for a little bit too much.
I was like, you guys are already my worst table of the night. You really want to separate the checks right now? And they were like, oh my God. And I was like, I'm joking.
I'm entirely kidding.
And I was like, it takes me 2 seconds. I'll be right back. Like, it's not an issue at all. So I
bring
the checks.
things in such a way that this is not difficult for me.
I always
Please
prepare
tell me how
for
you
it.
want it. Yeah.
Exactly. So I was like, totally fine. I got it.
Right.
So I separated the checks. I get them back. And they all tipped me so bad.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, not expecting that.
Neither was I. I was really shocked because they were all
So it's what, 3 separate checks or 4?
It was 4 separate checks.
Oh.
And like one of them was like $40. They tipped me $5. One of them,
okay,
right? And one of them was like $60 and they tipped me like $8.
Okay.
Yeah, it was very much like just above 10 but under 15 for every single one of them. And I was like, wow. that just wasn't expected for
Sure.
me. I was like, okay.
You're like, maybe my joke didn't land.
Yeah, so that was really shocking to me.
Yeah.
And then my last two tables that I had, they both sat within half an hour of us closing. And one of them, I did make them wait a little bit too long. Like once they had finished their meal, I was in the back doing side work.
Right.
And when I came up, you could tell they were like looking around for me. And so they ended up tipping me 15%. And I was like, I get it.
That's fair.
I didn't give you
Yeah.
20% service.
Yeah.
And I'm sorry. You know what I mean? They got everything, like their food was hot, their food was good, everything like that. But I wasn't there the minute they were finished eating to pre-bus their table and
Sure.
to drop their check and ask them about dessert and stuff. Like I wasn't present
Right.
around that table. So it was totally, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
They
like
could have,
it's appropriate.
yeah, they could have even given me 10%. And I'd have been
Yeah.
like, I get
That
it.
tracks,
You know, yeah, exactly. I'd have been like, absolutely, I gave you 10% service. I deserve this. You know what I mean? Like next time
But
I'll
not
be
the
better.
table that you've had nothing but amazing times with.
Then the other table I had that came in like half an hour before closing, when I went in the back and do side work, when I came back out, they were still eating.
Right.
So there was no gap in their service
Right.
at all. They didn't need refills. They didn't need anything while I was gone. And then I came back, they were still eating. I still gave them another 10 minutes and then they were finished eating, you know, picked up their plates, asked them if they wanted dessert. They said no, dropped off their check. And then they gave me $10 on a $130 tab.
Ouch.
And I was like, you got impeccable service.
Yeah, nothing went wrong.
Right. The minute they sat down, I forget what I was doing, but I asked another server, like, hey, can you greet and bread that table for me? And she was like, yeah, of course. So she did.
Yeah.
And, she got them their drink started and she got them their appetizer started, like everything. And then, oh no, I asked her to drop off the waters and bread.
Okay.
And then when she dropped them off, they were like, we're ready to order. So
I was going to say, she put the whole order in,
yeah,
right?
so she put the order in for me. And then, like, they got everything immediately as quickly as they could have when they wanted it. And their food was great. They had no issues with the food. They ate everything.
Yeah.
So it wasn't one of those where, like, they didn't say they had issues
Right.
with food, but they did. Like, they ate everything. They absolutely loved it. And then they gave me $10 on a $130 tab. And I was, like, so taken aback. Because
Sure.
it's definitely one of those things where they did feel like they were upset when they sat down.
I mean, maybe they waited too long to get sat, which is completely out of our hands.
True.
Or they could just be the people who are like, hey, we're going out to eat. We have $10.
Fair.
Like, I definitely get that, where it's like, hey, we went out to eat. Regardless of the price of our bill, we're tipping $10.
Yeah.
And, like, it sucks when it happens.
It just always hurts my heart because at the end of the day, it's very much like, what did I do wrong? You know what I mean? Like,
Right.
what could I have made the experience better for
Yeah,
you?
is
Like,
there
I take it
anything
upon
I
myself.
personally did to cause you to be like, no, it wasn't good enough?
Exactly.
Yeah,
you know what I
absolutely.
mean? Like, there's definitely people out there that just don't tip.
Sure.
And it doesn't matter what type of service they have, but
Right.
it's
9 times out of 10, I think I just assumed that that's what they were going to tip regardless. Like, not that I don't ever give bad service, because I definitely do when I'm super overwhelmed or whatever. Like, I've had my off days.
right.
But I guess for me, it's just like, I am fairly, like, I feel like I'm fairly consistent with my service.
Yeah.
So when I get a 10 or a 15% tip, I'm just like, oh, that's probably what they were going to tip anybody. Like, I never take it personally. If I don't get tipped at all, now
Yeah.
I'm taking it very personally. Or if they just throw like $2 down at the table after spending, $150, $160, then I kind of want to be like, is there anything I could have done to make this experience better for you? Because I'm feeling like you're upset about something,
Right.
To just throw change down afterwards is like, ooh, well, what happened?
Yeah.
Like, you liked your food, nothing went back, nothing needed to be fixed.
Yeah.
What's the problem here?
No, I always take it personally.
Just immediately.
It's just
personal.
immediately like
They hated me.
Yeah, you've cursed my family bloodline. Like, why? What have you done to me? I don't know why. I think it's just because I do feel like I give good service.
Right.
And I know when I don't give good service. So when I don't get like a 15 to 20%, even 15% sometimes, but if I don't get like a 20% tip, I'm like, if I didn't give 20% service, then yeah, for
Right.
sure.
Right.
But if I did give 20% service and I don't get a 20%
They
tip,
probably just aren't 20%.
maybe,
tippers.
but I
It's really-
always
it's how you
take
have
it
to
like,
look at it.
what did I do? Like, I'm so
What
like
have I done? I'm so sorry.
that internal like people pleaser that has
Sure.
just been inside me my whole life, which led me into this industry.
Please don't hate me.
Right.
Yeah.
Is just always like, now I'm crying in the back. I had a table. It was my very first table of the day on one of the bartending shifts that I was working this past couple of weeks. And first table, they racked up like a $350 tab.
Oh, shit.
And they were like two older guys. They were vibing. Like,
Right.
we had the best time. I had my trainee with me. She was having a great time with these guys. Like, it was a moment.
Right.
Right. And they left, and they only left the guest copy. They didn't, so they took what they signed.
If they even signed it, yeah.
If they signed it, but that meant that they stiffed me on
Right.
a $350
that
tab.
hurts.
I cried.
That hurts. Yeah.
I looked at her and I was like, I'm really sorry. I'm going to leave you here for 5 minutes.
I need a few.
I was like, I have to go cry in the back.
Yeah.
And she was like, huh? And I was like, I just need to get it out and then
Yeah.
I'll be okay.
This really hurts.
But right now I'm very upset because I've started my day now. This is the first table
Right.
and first and only table I've had.
And everything flowed. You got the best of me. We were having a good time.
Yep.
You enjoyed
It's early
yourself.
morning. I'm caffeinated.
Right.
I have nicotine running through my veins. Like, I am on one. I'm good. Like, I'm here for you. And I was taking care of nobody else. It was just them. And so I started my day in the red, owing on that table.
Right.
And it
Now
made
we're
me,
only paying the tip out on that table and we're receiving nothing for it.
exactly.
Yeah.
Even knowing that I would get other tables that would eventually cover that tip out,
Hopefully.
but starting my day in the
No,
red on a table
absolutely
that
not.
I vibed so heavy with, I was so upset.
Yeah, I would
And
be
I
too.
literally went to the back and
Yeah.
cried for like 5 minutes.
Anything over $300 and I get no tip,
I'm
it
hurting.
hurts. It like physically hurts because I know that, that this amount of the percentage is just out of pocket.
Yeah.
And I mean, I try to hold the opinion that like, hey, like I keep it in my head, like, hey, people don't have to tip, like you don't have to, if it's not like something that you're feeling that needs to happen, fine. Cause I usually, like you said, I'll get other tables that will cover that. And I average out at the end. But yeah, when it's something that big, or if you get like a $400 table and they leave you $20 and it's just
Yeah.
like, thank you. That covers the tip out.
Yeah.
Thank you
If
for
it covers the tip out, I'm even less sad though because I'm at least I'm not
right.
paying
Nothing's
for it.
nothing's coming out of my pocket for this, and that's nice. But also, ouch.
Yeah, it hurts.
Yeah.
And that one got me. That's probably the first time in a while that I've started crying because of a tip.
Sure.
And it was literally just because the guys were so nice. They were everything.
Because
I
all
loved
you're
them.
expecting is a good tip at that point. All you're
Even
expecting,
just
like, with everything going right, you're just like, hell yeah, you guys have a wonderful day. Deuces, I'm out. And then when
High
you come,
check average.
you
Yeah,
come
exactly.
back to it, and there's just nothing there.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It
So,
hurt. Yeah.
one of the first parties that I took, like a larger party that I took here at our restaurant, I think I had been there 3 weeks or a month, and I was asked to actually take over a party of 14 because they didn't like the server that was given to them.
Oh.
Yeah, like he messed it up. He had attitude and he was this and he was that. So totally, they passed it off to me. The managers came to me and they're like, hey, you're the closest server. We trust you. Go ahead and take over this party of 14. And immediately one of the guys at the table was just like, he was an asshole. He was saying rude shit. He was trying to be joking, but it wasn't funny. And he was very loud. And like everybody else there, you could tell it was like a big family. Everybody else was like trying to like, no, haha, like shut up, And so I dropped the check and the guy goes, no, don't set that down. I'm paying for it. That one loudmouth guy was like, I'm paying for it. I go, okay, absolutely. Thank you so much. So he puts his card down and I run it and I bring it back to him. He took all the slips. So it's a $1,400 table.
Ouch.
Each person, there's 14 top table and each person spent over $100. Like averaging 100 per person. And they took every piece of paper. When I went to that table and there was no papers anywhere, just the check presenter and my pen and no papers anywhere. I run to the back because the bussers had already been there starting to clear like the dessert plates.
Yeah, so you're like, did they put it in a cup or something
Right.
stupid?
And so I grabbed the bussers and it's the kid who doesn't work here anymore, right? And we loved him.
Yes.
Super sweetheart. He immediately, like I barely even knew the guy. He immediately started digging through the trash cans in the back for me. Like he is elbow deep in trash cans. I'm checking the terminals. We're checking under the table. Like we're pulling out everything we can possibly pull out. Nothing on $1,400. Or yeah, $1,400. And
It's been 4 years and you still remember this story?
yeah,
Like,
and I was crying. I was
bet.
I was digging through the trash, just pouring tears because that table took up so much of my time that now no longer, I didn't even have a section anymore. I was asked to take over this problem table probably because of just that guy. Like, I don't even blame the server. I'm thinking that guy was just a huge problem. And yeah, I was just crying. And then at the end of the night, our old GM came to me and she's like, hey, we take care of our own here. Like, you should have gotten some money off of that. She gave me $130. It's like, not bad. But
at least it covered something.
It covered something, and I wasn't paying out of pocket for that table anymore. But no, I think that guy had every intention of not tipping. And like, even leaving a 0 would have been better than me searching through the fucking trash to find what didn't exist. And like I said, I had the busser digging. It was, oh my God, it was terrible. It was just terrible. So that was
rough.
that's probably one of my worst, like, no tip stories, is that that was my whole night. I had tables before that, but not many. And then it was like, hey, we really need you to do this. And you get nothing for it. It really hurt.
It reminds me of this guy today. It wasn't even my table. It was my neighbor's table. She was in L1, and she put in like a rum and Coke or a Jack and Coke or something like that for this table. So I'm like, okay, cool. You know, I'm at the bar. I'm not doing much, so I'm running drinks. And so I go to run this drink, and he goes, yeah, we're ready to put orders in. And
Cool.
I was, as I'm like setting down the drink, and I was like, okay. And he goes, are you ready? And like waves his hand at me. And not even my table. I look at him and I go, sure. Yeah. And and I see every other person at that table just kind of be like, oh, like hanging their head in shame, like, oh no.
Rightfully so, yeah.
He goes on to tell me, I want this, I want that, and I want, we'll do the dozen sampler oysters, right? And he was like, but we want just the big ones. And I'm like, okay, well, our sampler is priced out specifically to include the oysters that are,
Right, that we select for the
that are
sampler.
selected on the menu. But if you want the bigger ones, it's just going to be a different price. But I can definitely put in like, a dozen oysters for you that are all the large ones. It's just not going to be that price.
Right.
And he goes, yeah, whatever.
So sorry, I took time
Right?
to keep you from being confused at the end when it didn't come out to be $41.
Yeah, because the receipt isn't going to say sampler. It's
No,
going
it's
to
going to
say
say
12 other oysters.
random oysters
Exactly.
listed out. Yeah.
And it's not going to, you're going to add it all up and it's not going to be the same price
No.
as the sampler. Like, it's going to be more.
Yeah.
And so I was just like, okay.
Okay, great.
And so I leave and I walk up to my neighbor and I was like, wow, 33 can really choke on it. And she goes, what happened? Like, apparently they were totally fine with her.
Right.
And then the minute I walked up to drop off that drink, he just looked
Was
at
it
me.
a 5 top?
It was like 4 or 5.
Okay.
Yeah. Old
I'm
white
wondering
guy.
if it's the people I drop food to.
Maybe. They were awful.
Because
At 33.
Yeah, I dropped food to 33 and I didn't know we were missing a plate because I'm the second carry. So somebody went before me and then I carried 2 more plates out. And one of them was a salad, so there was dressing. And this older white guy with like gray curly hair.
Yeah, sitting at seat 1.
No, he was seat 4. Okay, well anyways, this guy looks at me and he goes, yeah, and points to his wife and I go, are we missing something? And he's like, yeah, her food. And I go, okay, let me go check on that for you. Also, I'm the second person that has delivered food to you. That doesn't mean we're done.
Right.
It just means that it's taking more than one person to deliver 5 plates. Shocking.
Right.
Who
Especially
knew?
when your entree has 2 separate plates for whatever is coming together.
And so I just go, okay, let me go check on that for you. Also, I don't know what she ordered. I don't know if you guys know this, but you haven't seen me yet tonight.
Right.
I'm a person you don't know. How about you calm the fuck down?
They don't notice that. We look all the same to them. We're
And
blue shirts.
and what, bro? Like,
And
as far as I'm concerned, you're all, and she had food in front of her. I guess it was the appetizer that she moved in front of her.
oh,
So she
super
had,
smart. So when we run their food and put it in front of her, she can also have the appetizer in front
Right,
of her.
yeah.
Fucking move it.
and but I mean, she had stuff in front of her, so my eyes didn't immediately lock onto, oh my God, we're missing a
Missing
plate.
something, yeah.
But no, yeah, I don't care what you order, how you order it, or how long you sit in my section. I don't care about so many fucking things. But if you talk to me like trash, I fucking hate you. I
Right.
hate you so hard for the rest of the time that you're here.
Yeah.
Do not speak to me like I'm the asshole. Especially when you're not my table.
Yes.
Like, especially when you're not my table. Like, if my tables give me attitude, it doesn't bother me as much because I'm the person that's in charge of their entire flow.
Mm-hmm.
But I am now a stranger to you, and you're just going to speak to me this way?
Yeah, because
Choke on it.
We're just blue shirts. They don't see hair color. They don't see skin color. They don't see any differences, body weight, body type. Like, none of it matters to them. Height doesn't matter.
No.
We are blue shirts.
Right.
Everybody in a blue shirt and an apron
this up for me.
has ruined their entire experience, and they're giving a 1 star on Yelp.
I don't know if you want to get into it, but we had talked about maybe talking about pet peeves at work.
Mm-hmm.
And I, like, if you want to go through it, we can go through it.
Okay.
But if you had other topics, that's fine.
I didn't.
Okay. My probably number one, like, it's like I've got a few that are really high up there, but probably number one is when I offer somebody 2 things. Like, I'm like, they've already gotten drinks, right? So I have delivered their drinks to the table. We're waiting on an appetizer. Appetizer hasn't arrived yet. And I say to these people, hey guys, were we ready to order? Did we want to wait for that appetizer to come out? Right. And they go, well, we want to wait for the appetizer. Yeah, that's what I fucking said. That's one of the options I gave you. I don't know if you know this. Don't talk to me. No, don't fucking talk to me like that. That's the one that bothers me so much. I have given you 2, sometimes even 3 options.
Mm-hmm.
And one of those things you're going to shout back at me, fucking choke on it. Just suck a whole ass dick right now. I fucking hate. No. How about just, yeah, we'd love to wait for that appetizer. Or you know what? That sounds good. Perfect. Great. I love that. I don't care how long you sit in my section. I'm not rushing you through this meal. I tell people every fucking day, I'm here all night, guys. You take as long as you need. I do not care. I am not a turn and burn kind of server.
No.
Do I like to turn and burn when it's a day like that? Yeah, it feels good because I know I'm getting more tables, more money. But if I have one table that sits all fucking day, you're never going to hear me cry about that.
No.
If anything, I'm shocked. I'm like, that table's been here for 5 hours.
I know.
Not that I care, just that I'm like, who wants to spend 5 hours in this establishment? Like, I barely spend 5 hours here. But that's it. When it's like, I'm like, hey guys, were we ready to order? Or did we want to hang back?
A pet peeve of mine
Yes.
is when I walk up to a table and I'm like, hi, my name is Kat. I'll be taking care of you today. And in the middle of me, like, before I even say my name, they're like, bread? Like, they're mad at me that I didn't automatically bring bread to the table. Like, they watched me sit at another table taking an order as they sat down and then immediately go to their table. Right. And they're irately mad that I don't have...
You don't have this thing we wanted, even though we haven't spoken to you yet?
Right, at all. Right. And you watched me not go anywhere besides from one other table directly to yours so that I could say hi and give you my name. If you don't let me finish my stupid spiel that I am paid minimum wage to do and I am told that I have to do at every table, fuck off.
Yeah.
I get so... or when they're like, Diet Coke.
Like and Diet Coke people are somehow the worst people.
Always. Why?
Also... I have two things.
What's wrong with people that drink Diet Coke? What is in Diet Coke? I need it studied.
That just makes people fucking angry all the time. Mine is Diet Coke people who go, yeah, I'll take a Diet Coke and a water. Why? Are you going to drink that water? No. 99.9% of that time, I pick up a full water glass at the end of their meal.
Every time.
And I have refilled their Diet Coke 4 times. And they do not touch that water. So the next person that fucking orders Diet Coke and a water, I'm going to go, really?
Are you sure?
Really? You need that water? Does it make you feel better to order it? I don't fucking care what you're drinking. I don't care if you order 6 fucking Jack and Cokes.
Yeah.
I don't care. Just don't waste my time. You're wasting my time. And you know you're not going to drink that water. You don't drink water at home. Shut the fuck up.
One thing that does sometimes bother me, not every time, but sometimes, when there's like a table of 3 people and I have to get 8 glasses.
Right.
Because they're like, yeah, can I get a Coke, a water, and something from the bar? And I'm like, Why?
Why?
You fucking gremlin. Just drink
need-
one thing while you're here.
One to energize, one to hydrate, and one just for fun.
Stop it. You're a goblin.
You
Go
are. You're
away.
a beverage goblin. There's a whole song about it.
Which is fine in your own home.
Right.
In your stupid Stanleys and your little, like, sippy cups.
And your 24 packs of Diet Cokes.
Right. Go, you do that.
Yeah, have at
Go,
it.
girl. Like, I'm all for it. But you come into a restaurant and if there is a 3-top and I have to get 8 different glassware for that 3-top, sometimes I'm just like, this sucks.
Great. Yeah.
Yeah.
Speaking of bread, too, when they just like shout out about bread.
People are so obsessed.
I mean, and the bread's good. I get it. And also it's free and I'll bring you as much as you want. That's fine. But I even told one of the other servers tonight because I take a drink order and before I walk away from the table, they're like, and bread?
So,
and it's like,
I
yeah.
know. How about the free part?
How about you let me do my fucking job? Let me do my job. And then if I don't do it, you can go ahead and ask me for bread. Also, if I ever deliver drinks and I don't have bread in my hands, it's because we don't have any.
Yeah.
Not because I didn't feel like getting it for you. It's because we don't have it right now.
You're just in the back like,
No bread for you. I'm in charge. No.
I'm going to dictate how this night goes. People touching me.
Oh,
It was
touching me.
It was a lot bigger deal when I first started. Now that I've worked there for a bit, there's like most people know not to touch me.
Right.
Which
should just be like general knowledge. Like don't touch other people.
Yeah, you would think keep your fucking hands to yourself.
Maybe.
But yeah, when I first started, there was definitely a lot of people that would like, touch my back, like behind this and that, da da da. But I have like a lot of trauma when it comes to like people coming up from behind me and stuff like that.
Sure.
Like I've survived a lot of things in my life. So
let alone that in a work environment I just don't expect to be touched.
Yeah. It's for me it's definitely one of those things where like if I'm touched unexpectedly, I can feel that touch on my skin and it's almost like
for a while.
Burning my skin for a good 15 to 20 minutes.
Yeah.
So, after a while, people, you know what I mean?
Please don't touch me. I don't want hugs.
Yeah, when I first started, even hugs aren't so bad because people from the front,
right? I'm
like
expecting
I can see them.
It's
yeah,
coming
it's
in.
I don't want to touch you. Like, get
right.
the fuck away from me. But from the front, I can just be like, don't do that.
No thanks.
But when people would like, touch my back or like, excuse me, like grabbing onto my shoulders and stuff. And I yelled at so many people when I first started.
Please don't touch me.
Yeah, I literally like. I'm always, I'm talking shit, I'm this, I'm that, da, da, da. And I'm always smiling while I'm doing it so people know, you know what I mean, that I'm not serious.
Right.
For the most part.
Most of the time.
And, but yeah, I would literally turn around and be like, listen, I have, like, you can't touch me. Like,
Please
it bothers,
just don't.
yeah, it really bothers me a lot. Like, please don't touch me. It is a really big issue for me.
Yeah.
And they'll just be like, oh, sorry. Like, yeah, they understand the tone of voice is very different than how I normally talk to them. And so they've stopped doing that for the most part.
Please just don't.
Yeah, like my husband can't even touch me on the back unexpectedly without me like flipping the fuck out.
Sure.
Like it's not something that I'm okay with ever in any
let
way,
alone
shape,
a
or form.
person that you barely, an acquaintance from work. Like,
Right.
Please just don't. Like, I don't need to handle this from you because you shouldn't be doing it at all.
Right. So tonight, when that tall kid with the glasses was standing literally 6 inches away from me while I'm sitting at, the bev station asking, like grabbing drinks, and he's just standing right there waiting his turn, I literally went, wow, space. Yeah. Like, please, what are you doing?
He has no idea what personal space even means. I don't know if his entire family is this way or if he was raised crammed together in a small room. Like,
I don't know.
He just does not understand. He is 6'4", let's say.
Maybe, yeah.
Maybe even taller. And when he walks, there have been times that he has walked behind me and I can feel his head right here. Like I'm 5'2", and I can feel his head above me because his legs are so long that he is somehow like engulfing me with his steps. And I've had to turn around and be like, please stop. Please stop. For so many reasons, please stop. But most importantly, what if I stop? You are walking so close to me that what if I stop walking? What are you going to do? There's not enough space or time for you to maneuver around me. Please stop.
Yeah.
He has no idea what personal space is. He also doesn't have any spatial awareness. This man flails around the restaurant.
So much.
He doesn't call corner. He doesn't. I'm talking to a table here and he's walking the aisle that are between the two tables. And so if you're even listening, you can understand that, oh, this girl's probably going to walk away from her table right now because she's saying, thank you so much, guys. And I turn to walk away from my table and he's there. He's just right fucking there taking up all this space. And I'm like, dude, if like he just has no awareness of anything around him ever at all. And like I've worked with other people that are just like disasters in spaces, but he baffles me. Like he just baffles me as a human being so many times.
I had an issue. Not an issue, but it was such an interesting moment today with the like newer busser, right?
Yes.
So the one that's very like just socially awkward.
Interesting. He is an interesting human being.
Such a character.
Yeah.
I don't know like what his deal is. He's so nice, but also some of the things he says and does, I'm just like, who are you?
What?
Like, who raised you?
Yeah.
What is happening right now? So today I'm polishing wine glasses and I'm putting them away, right? So I'm kneeled down and I am putting wine glasses away in the little cubby hole that we have them. Yeah. And this kid stands over me.
Oh, no.
He stands directly over me and goes, "You're one of my favorite people to work with. Thank you so much." And I'm just like, I look up at him and I'm like, cool, man.
Right.
Like, what is happening? And then he walks the fuck away.
You could have said that from beside me or even a few feet away from me.
For him?
He has been known to do exactly that, like get very close to people.
Yeah. No, it was so, I'm literally talking about like directly over me, like his knees were almost touching my knees. Like he was so close to me, standing over me.
Yeah.
And he goes, "You're one of my favorite people to work with. Thank you so much." And I was just like,
wow,
cool beans. Like I need you to leave right now.
Right now.
So again, he's so nice.
He's very sweet. I like him a lot, and he's really good at his job.
He's so good. He's there immediately. He never complains about anything.
No, and he's always looking for more things to do. Like
he's
the day that he wanted to roll silverware, I was like, don't do that. Like, that's not your job. Don't do that.
Right.
Like, cute. Like, thank you for wanting to, but you don't have to do that.
Even today, I went into the kitchen and the assistant kitchen manager was there, and I was like, "Oh, do we not have any runners?" Because I didn't see a runner at that time. And he goes, "No, I have two." And he points to the busser, and I was like, "Oh, is he running tonight?" I didn't know that he had gone through like the classroom and all of that to start running.
I don't think he has.
No, he hasn't. But I was like, "Oh, is he running tonight?" And he goes, "Yeah." So I was like, interesting. So then I see him immediately run food and then pick up a tray and go to a table to start bussing it.
He was bussing tonight.
Right. So I walk up to him and I was like, "Hey, man, what are you clocked in as?" And he goes, "Oh, busser." Like, I'm stupid for asking him the question, which understandably from his point of view,
he's like,
the only thing he's ever done is
my
bussing.
Only job code. What are you talking about?
And I'm like, "What are you clocked in as tonight?" And he was like, "Busser." And I was like, "Oh, the assistant kitchen manager said that you were running tonight." And he was like, "Well, I'm helping run food." And I was like, "No, for sure." And we absolutely appreciate it.
He was on it, yeah.
I was just going to tell you, don't bus a table if you're not clocked into bus.
Right.
Like,
Don't go out of your way because you're not getting any of those tips.
Exactly. I was just going to say, we're not tipping you to bus, so don't bus.
So don't do it.
And he was like, "Oh, ha ha ha, whatever." You know what I mean?
Right.
Like, he's such a nice kid, but there is definitely something like socially about him that he doesn't have a whole lot of recognition.
Yeah, he stands very close. And like even
So
tonight
close to
when he went to say goodbye and he did like a whole on hand grab, which I had just been touched by the server that I hate.
Right.
And he refuses to take a fist bump as like a way to say goodbye. So he was like, "Okay, bye." And then he left, right? But then immediately the busser comes up and he's like, "Hey, thanks for all your work tonight." But I still thought that it was the server. So I whip over and I'm like, "Fucking again?" And then I realized it was him and I was like, "Oh yeah, have a wonderful night." Like it's fine.
You're so good.
But this is so much touching.
Yeah.
And very close. Like very, very close.
Super
speaking.
close, yeah.
A little awkward.
Yeah, that's just the thing, is it's one of those things where it's like, I get it. I don't think he really understands, you know what I mean? Like, that is uncomfortable, especially for the women that he's doing that to.
Right. And because he's so new. Like, it's a little different. Like, we've got the other busser who likes to get close to me and talk, or even he'll touch my elbow or whatever, which I don't prefer because I don't really like him as a person. But, like, as a coworker, he does just fine. Yeah. So it's like I like him as a coworker, but I don't really care for him as a person. So it's like, please don't touch me.
I don't even like him as a coworker. He's petty as shit most days.
I mean, he's just, for me, he's good at his job, and most of the time he doesn't give me shit anymore.
He can be good at his job. That's the thing, is if like you're fucking him, he's great at his job.
Sure, well,
Or
then
if you
then
have
excels
fucked
at
him.
his job.
Yeah. Or if you have fucked him, he's
Right.
great at his job. Otherwise, he's pretty average.
Yeah.
All things considered.
Well, I mean, because he'll also run food. He'll also grab
Fair.
this. He'll get ice. He'll do other things without
Fair.
without a second thought about it. But even, like I said, so I've known him 3.5 years. I still don't want him touching me.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know. But I guess, like, him being in close quarters to me, like, very close, doesn't feel as awkward as the newest guy.
Yeah.
Being like, hello. Hi, how's it going?
Hello.
And I'm like, hey.
You're my favorite to work with.
Well, that's quite the compliment. I didn't get that.
It's such a compliment. That's what I'm saying. Like, he's so nice, but I'm also like, are you gonna skin me alive? Like, why are you standing over me and saying, and it wasn't just like him standing, like his stance and everything, just like, I was like, arms out, like very, like he was about to run up on me. Like,
Maybe
you're my
he's saying,
favorite
like,
coworker.
when I take this place out, you won't be taken out. Like, maybe.
You know what? You give me a call. I'll give you my number to give me that text to tell me to call out
please let
from
me
work.
know.
And I will.
Like I said, I didn't get you're one of my favorites. I just got thanks for all your work.
Yeah.
And I'm like, okay. And him and I have a decent rapport. Like, we
Yeah.
joke around pretty much the whole
I
night.
mean, he's been there a couple of weeks, so yeah, as decent as it could be. I don't know, man. You think it's time to check out?
It might be. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm ready to check out.
Same.
Let's get out of here.
Fuck yeah. Bye.
Bye.